So we have a quadratics question here. Solve it by completing the square. The question is x squared minus 20x plus 93 equals 0. And we have to solve that by completing the square. So you can see that's very similar to the standard form here. The difference being the y is 0. It is very helpful when you're solving by completing the square to take this c to the other side. So in this case, we have plus 93. If we just do the opposite, we're going to subtract 93 from both sides. So that's going to give us, we're going to be left here with x squared. I have problems drawing the x squared, so I'm just going to copy and paste here. Excuse that. So x squared minus 20x equals negative 93. Whoop, there's my 3. So completing the square literally means complete the square. So let's do a little sketch, and that's going to help us see what we're doing. So here, think algebra tiles. This is my x by my x. So the area is going to be x squared. Let me just bring up one of these so you see it, the x squared. Then we have this negative 20x. Well, to make it a square, not a rectangle, I'm going to have to put half of those here, negative 10x here. So that would be x up here by negative 10. And the other half, I'm going to have to put here. So negative 10x here. Oops, that's an x. So this dimension here will be negative 10. So question is, to complete the square, what do I have to add here to make it a perfect square? Well, it should be this negative 10 times this negative 10, so an area of 100. So again, we can't just go add 100 to our equation. We're going to have to add it to both sides. So back to our equation here. Let me bring up my x squared. And then we've got the negative 20x. And then we said we were going to add 100 to complete the square. And on the right-hand side, we have the negative 93. And again, we're going to have to add that 100 to keep it balanced. So let's see how we can rewrite this. You'll notice over here, the dimension of the overall square is x minus 10 multiplied by x minus 10. And if you don't quite believe me, we could come down here, x minus 10 all squared would be x minus 10 multiplied by x minus 10. And we can FOIL that real quick. That would indeed give us x squared. And then the outside would be negative 10x. The inside would be negative 10x, which would combine to negative 20x. And then the last term, negative 10 times negative 10, would be plus 100. And you see you have, this is exactly what we have here, x squared minus 20x plus 100. So again, the whole point of completing the square is so I indeed can write that as a perfect square. So it's x minus 10 all squared. And on the right-hand side, we can simplify that. Negative 93 plus 100 is just 7. And yet again, why are we making it a square? Well, we're doing that because it's very easy just to go ahead and take the square root of each side. So the square root of x minus 10 all squared would just be x minus 10. And on the right-hand side, we are going to have to introduce our positive or minus square root of 7. We're almost there. We need x, so we've just got to get rid of this minus 10, and we do that by adding 10 to both sides. So we're left with x equals 10 plus or minus square root of 7. And that was solving the quadratic equation by completing the square.